Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. So it is the beginning of a new month, which means the January wrap up. February wrap up. I didn't do January, and so I'm gonna put January and February in this video mixed together because I kind of want to start doing these every month because I think they're gonna be fun. So these are all the January and February books I have read. Majority of these books were ebooks that were Kindle Unlimited. Only two of the books. One was a physical book from the library and another one was an ARC that I got. So to start off with January, I read I think 4 books in January. The first one that I read was Crane Among Wolves, and I originally got, this is an ARC. It comes out in May, I think. It's by the same author who wrote The Red Palace, which I've talked about previously, in back videos, that I love that book. It's a 5-star read for me. I got the ARC. I was so freaking excited. I got around Thanksgiving and I didn't finish it till January because I was so excited for the book that I wanted to prolong it. It might sound weird, but I was prolonging it. But I finished it in January. And let me tell you, Crane Among Wolves is a 5-star read, 6-star read, 10 out of 10. It is one of the best books I have ever read. I'm gonna put the summary of Crane Among Wolves somewhere over here on the screen because I can't memorize it. I don't have I'm using my phone to record, so I don't have the summary on hand. But when I tell you, if there's one author that I will recommend you to read, it's June Her. She does The Red Palace, she did Crane Among Wolves, and she did The Forest of the Stolen Girls. I think that's how it is. I haven't read that one yet. But when I tell you, there's one author that I'm following the updates, TikTok, Instagram, watching every story, liking every story, interacting with them, it's June Her. It's a masterpiece. One of the best series I have ever read, one of the best books I've ever read are the Harry Potter series. I don't think, I have had 5-star reads, but I have not had this is the best book, one of the best books of all time. That's Crane Among Wolves to me. It gives me chills thinking about it. It makes me emotional. I was rereading the words over and over and over again on the page before I flip to the next page because I want to soak it in. I want to memorize it. It was the dialogue between it. They are basically strangers, then they turn into enemies, to allies, to lovers. You know, that's the type of trope it is. And when I tell you slow burn, that's a slow burn. That's the enemies to lovers. That she does it right. She writes it perfectly. Once that book comes out, we're gonna get the physical copy and we're gonna be talking about that book again because it's just that good. And I love her Red Palace book. I have the Red Palace book hardcover, but the soft cover, the paperback cover has a epilogue, so I think I might get that one, or the Korean version. There's a Korean version. I don't know Korean yet, but it has illustrations in it, so I'm gonna get the book. Either I don't know Korean, but just because I love her writing that much and the characters, I want to see the illustrations and have it. So when I tell you 5 out of 5 stars, and I feel like it is lately nowadays, it is so hard for me to find an author who they write good stories, but it's not when I read the next story, it's okay, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, but it's 5 out of 5 and then another one 5 out of 5, back to back. She has 5 stars for me, if not above. I know June Her's books are gonna be a repeating topic on my channel, so we're gonna go to the other books in January and we'll finish those up June Her books later. So the second one is Shadows of You. That was a Kindle Unlimited book, and it was good. It was really good. I will give it a 4.5 out of stars. I feel like I'm definitely a mood reader. Basically, Shadows of You is the single parent trope, and I have never really read a single parent trope book. It's not something that I am against or don't read. Well, I don't usually read them, but it's just not it's usually not the ones I lean toward. But something about this book made me want to read it, so I was reading it and I really enjoyed it. The main character is touch her and you die vibes, and I'm a sucker for those vibes. Okay, so he's the definition of touch her and you die vibes. A man stared at her, a man was around her, things like that. It wasn't crazy possessive, I don't think. It was more like she was like in dangerous, like he thought everyone was a threat, basically. Like they were like, she kind of had like danger coming for her, so he was being really protective. It does have spice. I can't remember like the beginning, like every little detail about it. But the beginning I don't think was like too spicy. I think it was more like, I think the middle was when the relationship really started, and then like to the end. So I feel like it was a good amount of like where the spice started and things like that. The Shadows of You is like it's a series, but they're all standalone. They're like, it is a standalone series. I think I read the what's it called? Not demo, is it? That's like a game. Preview of one of the newest books she has out. I may read that one. Sometimes standalone series, I'm only like one or two I read that like most interest me. But Shadows of You, I would say, is 4 out of 5. I'll put like the pictures right here and like the author's name, so if you guys want to look it up. Shadows of You, I'll give a 4 out of 5. I think it almost made me cry. Like, it was emotional because it was just the writing of like the main female lead. I don't know, it was just like, yeah. And then the last book I read in January, and I think I read the second book of this, but I didn't get all the way through, so I'm not gonna like fully count that. It was Faye King's Temptation. When I first read this book, I was speeding through it. And then I read the like second one. I think I sped through it. It was shorter than books that I'm used to reading. I'm not sure how many pages it was, but it was pretty short. Like, you could finish it, I feel like, an hour and a half maybe. And I would give that one a 3.5 out of stars because, one, it was very spicy. But not like I said, it has to be like, it's hard to describe how I like spice in books or when I like to come in, but it was like spice, but the plot was like, I don't know how to explain the plot. I feel like with books, I read them and then I forget. So that's why I'm glad I got the reading journal, because after I read a book, I'm going to start writing down how I feel about it or doing a video right after, so I remember like in my head about it. But yeah, that's January's wrap up. So Crane Among Wolves, which is a 5 out of 5 star for me, beyond 5 out of 5 stars for me. Shadows of You was a 4.5 for me, and Faye King's Temptation was a 3.5. No, 3, not 3.5. 3 out of 5 stars for me. And then the March wrap up. No, February wrap up. I keep mixing up the months. Basically, I feel like I thought I read a lot in January, but maybe I didn't. maybe I was just dragging the series out. February, I only read 3 books. I feel like I did not read that much books February. I feel like I wasn't like, I'm kind of been in like a not a book slump exactly, but kind of. February I was in a book slump, and I also been in like a K-drama slump for the longest time. But anyway, so Game On, Circle Jerk, and Absolutely Not in Love are the 3 books that I read for February. I started Pride and Prejudice, but I'm still like on chapter 5. Like, I have not read that book yet, but I'm determined. Hopefully it'll be in the March wrap up. So Game On, you guys kind of seen it in a previous video. That's a 5 out of 5 star for read for me. Check out that video for like the full like summary and details and like some of my favorite lines from that book. I'll link it down below, and I also put like the thumbnail right here. But that's Game On is a 5 out of 5 star for read for me. I feel like library finds are sometimes the best finds. Like The Boy You Always Wanted, that was a 5 out of 5 for me, and that was from the library. Game On, another one, is just like, it was just so good. It has diversity. The main character, the main male is a white male. The main female is a black female, and she just talks about topics with representing more black gaming and the problems they face, and also trying to find solutions for that. And he's like helping her find solutions for that. And it was a very good read, and I feel like it had educational points in it and like emotional points, and it had like I feel like it hits all the like topics that I like. You know, it didn't have suspense, but sometimes, you know, books aren't gonna have that. But it had like the romance, it had the drama, it had the emotional tug that you had to the characters. So yeah, Game On, I would recommend. Circle Jerk was the next one. That's a Kindle Unlimited book. When I first read it, I was like, okay, you know, I was like, okay, it's good, it's pretty good. And when I thought about it more, like a few days after I read it, I was like, and then when I was reading it to the end, I was like, like it's a 3 out of 5 for me again. I feel like it is definitely, I just feel like it was too short. Like it was, I feel like it was a regular sized book, but like the plot was short. Like I read some lines and then you thought that was going to come up later, like it was going to be some drama or some problem, or you're going to see a scene. It was like the way the writing was, it was like it was wrote about and then you thought it was going to come up later, like a bigger scene, and it wasn't. And I feel like that kind of had me waiting for more, and the plot didn't like deliver that. So I was just like, we're just going to skip past that, or we're just gonna like, I don't know. It was it also had spice in it too. I feel like it wasn't a full plot, basically. Like it didn't seem like, it just seemed like the plot was missing scenes that should have been there or could have been there, or it just didn't need to be brought up in like certain topics. Both main lead characters were okay. It just wasn't nothing like special or crazy or like super cool. It was just fine. So yeah, Circle Jerk, I would do 3 out of 5. These reviews, I don't know like how good this review is, but this is my first wrap-up video, so I'm sure I'll be better in the March one, and like I'll have my reading journal so I can like look back on it. And then the next one, the last book that I read in February was Absolutely Not in Love. Now, I watched a TikTok video. I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw these ice skaters ice skating. I saw this ice skating video. I thought this was a cute edit and I was like, yeah, it's so cute. So now I'm in the mood to read some ice skater hockey romance, because usually when you read ice skating, it's like hockey's tied into it. I was looking for like ice skating, but I couldn't really find anything that I was into, so I went to the hockey romance and I looked up some TikToks like suggestions of hockey romances to read on Kindle Unlimited. There was like a handful of them, but the one that the summary like stood out to me the most, or it seemed like the trope that I liked, was Absolutely Not in Love. And when I first read it, I definitely was like, the girl, she's so against hockey players, and she's like, I would never date a hockey player. I don't want hockey in my life at all, because my older brother or younger brother, I'm not sure, her brother basically is a huge hockey fan, and he played for the team and everything, and all her parents like focus was on hockey stuff. Like they had a dedicated room, or like the whole house was decked out in hockey stuff, and they didn't like care for her stuff as much, like her interests in like musical. I think she played the violin, and so she just grew like I feel like a hatred for it, kind of. Like I don't know if she hated it technically, but she grew a strong dislike for it, because it was always like hockey first, hockey first, hockey first. Like she came second, you know. And when she first, and the guy she has, is the main lead, is her neighbor, and he is a hockey player, and he plays for like this team. He's like the goalie. I'm not sure if that's a hockey term for it, but he's like the one who catches the puck and everything. And she was like, when she first met him and she like kind of like thought he was attractive, her friend or somebody was like mentioning it. She's like, I don't do hockey in my life anymore. I don't want to dive back into that. I don't date hockey players. I'm not interested in having in my life. And then it was kind of going on for like a few chapters for her mindset like that. And I was like, kind of starting to feel like a little leaning like on the side, like, okay, maybe she's just doing too much. Like maybe she's like having that feeling too strong. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then when she like talked about it more, she was like, I feel like it was pretty understandable. You know, she did welcome it. Like I feel like after a few chapters, she started welcoming the hockey player in her life. And so like, she's like, it's not like a big possibility. I'm not really wanting to do it, but she's leaning toward it more. Like she's not super against it, you know, like as I thought she was going to be. So I definitely feel like that was a good turn. And it was pretty understandable. You know, you have a sibling and they do this big huge thing and they're like the all-star, the perfect student, sibling, whatever. And you do get jealous and you don't like the feeling of being compared. You know, I have siblings and you don't want to be compared to them all the time. So I felt understanding to that. So I was like, okay, you know what, I understand. And it's not like she hates hockey because her family still loves hockey. So she was more hurt, I feel like. And I definitely feel like this book was not something I was expecting. Like, it had emotional, like, they had emotional conversations. Like, the main lead and the main female lead and the main male character, they're like having emotional conversations, bonding, and that is what I like. I like the bonding without the spicy. I think this book didn't have that any spicy scenes. I think they might hinted at it, or maybe like one at the end, but it was not. No, there's barely any spice. But that's like, I'm fine with spice, but I need like the emotional, like, bonding connection, them talking and everything like that. And they had emotional, like, he was talking about his grandma and how he was also like into violin because of her and music. And he's not just, you know, he's not just a hockey player, you know, he has other interests and things like that. And I really like their the way the relationship led up to. I think it had really cute moments. The guy is shy, and I'm not used to reading like shy, like main I'm not used to reading like shy male leads. I feel like they're not written that much anymore like that, but I was loving it. I was loving him getting shy, getting nervous, getting awkward, and then like hyping himself up to talk to her. Or when she was like texted back and he was hyped about it, and like, I don't know, when she said yes to something, he was like so excited, and he's like, don't freak out, don't freak out. One of the lines was like, don't freak out, don't freak out. I was like, that is so funny and cute. And then one of the scenes with her, they were texting back and forth, and she's like giggling, kicking her feet, like screaming her hand, and I was like, girl, yes. It was just, I don't know, I just feel like it was like relatable life moments that you have had that you could relate to the characters. And I feel like you like the watching their relationship grow, the interactions, and even the misunderstandings and drama. They talked about it, they handled it. It was misunderstandings, you know, what happened. It was just like, it was a really good book. It was, the relationship was greatly written. It had the cute giggly moments. I feel like it's a definitely cozy book. Like, if you want a sweet cozy book, like, not too much drama, no suspense, no mystery, nothing like that, no third act breakup. I don't think, no third act breakup, no like huge drama. I feel like that is the book for you. Like, it's a sweet, cozy, comfy, like comforting book. So yeah, that was all the books for January and February. I don't know how this review went, or like wrap up. It was like wrap up with like reviews. I'm not sure how to do these exactly. I watched a few, but I kind of forgot how to do these. But yeah, I think it was pretty good. It was like mainly 5 stars. Or 4 out of 5 stars. Absolutely not in love. I would give a 5 out of 5. I feel like the cozy comfort genre. Like, I would pick it up again if I wanted a cute, comfy, cozy read, or I would recommend it if you want just like a chill, comfy, cozy, like it warms your heart, you know, type of feeling. You need that feeling, and that is the book that I would recommend to pick up. And it's pretty, I don't know if it's slow burn necessarily, but it isn't like, it's not super fast paced, you know. I feel like the relationship was a good pace. So let me tell you guys about the March ones that I want to read. Let's see which ones make it to the March wrap up. But the Love Hypothesis, I had that book for several months. Archer's Voice, again, several months. I got those at the same time. Archer's Voice and The Love Hypothesis, I want to read now. I want to finally read them because they just keep sitting on my bookshelf. Archer's Voice, I think, is going to make me cry. It seems more sad and more drama. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of like the most, because usually I don't lean for like super drama books or like sad books, but I feel like this one is going to be. I want to read it, but I'm just, no, I'm emotionally ready for that. But I'm going to try to read it in March. Another one I'm reading currently is Twisted Games. It's my audiobook. I'm not reading it. I'm listening to the audiobook, Twisted Games. I don't know how it's going to go. Right now, I am very in between with how I feel about it. I'm chapter 6 or 7, I think. But currently, the female lead is annoying me. So, we'll see. Another one that's on my March goal to read is Pride and Prejudice. Like, I love the movie. I watched the movie multiple times, like on repeat. And something about the book, I just can't like fully dive into it. I don't know, but I'm gonna try because I do want to see if there's more scenes in the book than that's one in the movies. So it's The Love Hypothesis, Archer's Voice, Twisted Games, Pride and Prejudice. Was there one other one? Oh, Sign of Affection. Sign of Affection and a few mangas I want to read. I got Sign of Affection for my birthday and for my sister. So I want to read that one finally. I just been putting that one off. I know I'm gonna love that one. I'm so ready to dive into that anime. But yeah, Sign of Affection and a few other mangas I want to read. But you will see that in the March wrap up which ones have made it there and how I feel about those. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Let me know how you feel about this review or wrap up. Do you guys like seeing this type of video? It'll be like a monthly video basically because it's at the end of each month or the beginning of the month. But yeah, I like sharing the books. And of course, there's more. If you want to see like the notes for like the 5-star reads or 4 to 5 reads, I note them usually in my Goodreads so you can see some of those lines. But yeah, I thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next video.